This is currently the smallest and lightest macro lens that exists above 90 millimeters right now, and it kind of completes the LUMIX 1.8 prime lens set. Now this one is an f2.8 and it's going to be the main topic of this video, but I also want to briefly just touch on all of these lenses and talk about why this lens in particular, the 100mm macro, is so special. My name's Dustin, your video tour guide, and remember to keep your arms and legs inside your chairs at all times. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Let me first talk about the first set of prime lenses from LUMIX, the 18mm, 24, 35, 50, and 85mm, and why I still don't really understand why LUMIX is still so slept on these days. First, let me take away the 100mm and talk about these lenses since it didn't exist until now. As you can tell, what makes this prime lens lineup so unique is they are all the exact same size and form factor, and they're also all f.18. They vary just so slightly in weight, but they all weigh about 300 grams. Why this lens lineup has been so game-changing is because it makes it so easy to change between each of the lenses when you have your camera on a gimbal. I recently used this lens lineup, and I've actually had this lens lineup for a while, but just recently I used it shooting a band concert, and it's just so nice, so easy, and convenient. You don't have to rebalance or anything. Years ago when I was shooting on my S1H, I had 3 Sigma lenses, the 14 to 24mm, the 35mm, and the 50mm prime. Those were all different sizes and different weights, obviously the 14 and 24, but it's not really uncommon in other brands unless you're buying a specific cine set of lenses where the lenses the different focal lengths come in different sizes and different form factors, basically. And so when these lenses came out and they were all the same size and form factor, it was crazy. It was game-changing. They're also all very similar, if not identical, image quality-wise and everything. But now let's talk about this lens and why it is so game-changing to this entire lens lineup. So you're probably thinking, okay, it's a small, light macro lens. What makes it so special? Well, for one, yeah, that's a huge deal. The closest macro lens to this in terms of size and weight is the Sony 90mm f2.8. That's actually the one that I used to own when I shot on Sony, and it's the one I'm most familiar with, and this one is literally half the weight. What's crazy about this macro lens is it's not like the other LUMIX macro lenses where they can, like the 14 to 28 and the 24 to 105, where it can claim that it's macro technically, but this one maintains a 1:1 life-size magnification. It has a focusing distance of about 20.4 centimeters, it has very minimal focus breathing, the image quality is on par with all these other lenses as well. It's dust and splash resistant and can be used in temperatures up to -10 degrees Celsius. But the thing, the fifth thing or the fourth thing, wherever number I was at, that makes this macro lens so game-changing is that Panasonic has actually redesigned also the focus motor. One of the problems that you get with like native macro lenses is that you can't go from like a normal distance, normal field of view for like portraits or something and then do like a video autofocus move from far away to macro, right? It's just been a physical hardware limitation of the autofocus system. It's crazy because not only have they made it the smallest and lightest macro lens and the same size as the rest of the prime lens setup, but they also redesigned the focus motor system in this as well so that you can do moves like that. This is a technology as well that's exclusive to LUMIX. Now I'm definitely going to be testing this out further because I haven't had as much time as I would have liked to have used this lens. You can watch my last video where you will notice that there were some moves in there where I kind of demonstrated this, but not to the extent that I would have liked. But if you want to get an idea on image quality and the look and everything like that, that's a good place to go. The lens comes in at a very reasonable price as well. It's about $999 US dollars, and comparing that to other macro lenses, it's in that price range as well, at least ones that are 90 millimeters or higher, like the Sigma, the Sony, all those. Another thing that I forgot to mention that's so game-changing about this lens lineup that I'm pretty sure as well is exclusive to LUMIX is that you can actually change the manual focus setting to be linear and you can set the degree to be the exact same across all the lenses. So not only do you get a consistent size, a consistent form factor, but you can also get a consistent focus throw. You get a consistent look. Literally, the consistency is out of this world. Let me just round out and summarize everything about all these lenses and this lens as well, and the things that make this lens lineup so amazing. So one, smallest and lightest macro lens ever on the market. Obvious, they have the same size and form factor. You can set the manual focus to be linear and set all the lenses to the same degree, although if you're using Panasonic, you won't have to do that. You pretty much will be using autofocus because all of these lenses work with that. They all have very minimal focus breathing compared to other brands and lenses. It's very well controlled. They are all f.18 except for the 100mm macro. That is an f2.8. 1:1 life-size magnification on the macro lens. Focus distance of about 20.4 centimeters. They are all dust and splash resistant and rated for up to -10 degrees Celsius. And then last thing on the 100mm macro is that new autofocus hardware so that you can go from a normal distance down to a macro distance. The whole lineup is also, I think, very reasonably priced. Hold on, let me just look up the price if you were to buy the entire kit. If you don't have like one of these lenses, for example, what would the whole kit cost? So in total, if you were to buy the entire kit, it would cost you about $4,600, and that's in US. The 18 and the 100mm cost about the same. The 24mm is $897. The 35mm is $697. The 85mm is $597, and the 50mm is $447. Oh, and full disclosures, I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but I didn't. These lenses were actually loaned to me about a year and 2 months ago at the LUMIX event of the S5 II, and same with this one as well. It was loaned to me. LUMIX doesn't get to see this. They haven't asked me to make a video. I mean, I haven't even made a video on these ones, and I've had them for a year and 2 months. And all my thoughts and opinions are my own on this entire lens lineup. But like I said, I don't understand why people sleep on LUMIX, because to me, this is very innovative, it's very thoughtful, and it's just really cool, especially this. The fact that they could make a macro lens that fits the same form factor and design as the entire lineup is just incredible. There should be a video posted soon, basically, that will be filmed entirely with this lens, so stay tuned for that if you'd like to see more. What are your thoughts, though, on this entire lens lineup, and what do you think of the direction that LUMIX is taking their lenses? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and check out my website. Any of the merch that you purchase, like this hat, for example, will go directly back into the channel, and it supports me, so thank you. I will also have affiliate links for all of these lenses in the description, and that also supports the channel, so I appreciate it if you use those. Till the next video, though, happy filming.